If you've been thinking about buying a home in Northeastern Wisconsin and your credit score is maybe not where you want it to be, maybe in that 500, 600 range, all hope is not lost. Today, this is the episode for you. We've got Chris Fisher from My Credit Guy here today. I want to talk about the impacts with him on having a lower credit score and what it really does to you financially. Chris, I'm excited to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Greg. Yeah, the impact with a difference between like even a 580 credit score all the way up to a 720 it's kind of mind-boggling, to be honest with you. The numbers right now across the board with auto loans is a difference between a 580 credit score and a 720 is around $9,000 of interest on a $35,000 auto loan. That's a 5-year loan. Okay. It's crazy, right? Like you got to think that's not the only thing that's happening either. Your mortgage rates, you got PMI and all of that good stuff as well. But even just to put it into terms of like when you go to buy an auto loan, that your credit score is impacting your decision by almost $9,000 is crazy, right? Good credit helps you a ton, whether it's auto loan, mortgage loan, whatever the case is, it helps you a ton to have a higher credit score, obviously.
I really wish they would have done like a credit 101 class in high school or college because it's like one of the most I'm just fortunate that I've learned so much about it being in the real estate industry and helping people, because I've had numerous lenders where they've went into a bank and the person realizes this person has a lower credit score. And I hate to say it, sometimes they just throw them out the door. But I'll tell you what, the most satisfying thing for me in my career is actually taking somebody who's got a lower credit score and putting them with somebody who can actually coach them on making improvements. And it's actually, there's some great laws that you can utilize to help improve the credit, obviously coaching and education. But yeah, like you said, $9,000 just for an auto loan. Imagine
Right.
the difference on a mortgage.
Well, it's
Or
crazy, right? Well, and it just stinks because, Greg, like you got to think about it too. Like those borrowers that are at a 580 credit score are only like a few short months away from being at a 680, right? They have to be ready to kind of, do a couple of things on their end as far as, like you said, like you have to learn about credit. You have to know how to kind of tap into the credit scoring algorithm. But as long as you're willing to kind of let, someone like myself or my team and my credit coaches step in and you're willing to meet them about 25% of the way there, I'm usually turning people back out to the closing table in like 3 to 5 months, right? Like it's a short process to have your life back in order. And then, like you said, like a $9,000 saving on your next auto loan, like what would you do with an extra $9,000? I could figure out something to do with $9,000.
yeah, no doubt. And it's like you said, 3 to 5 months. And if you put in 25% of the effort, My Credit Guy credit restoration can definitely make an impact. And like you said, the big thing is though, if you're one of those procrastinators or if we ask you to do something and you don't do it, I mean, you can just turn the video off right now. But if you want to see your credit score jump hundreds of points over time and get back to a scenario where you're actually getting peak quality rates that can save you massive amounts of money and help your whole financial livelihood long term. I mean, it's the auto loans, the mortgages, the insurance companies, right?
Yep.
Like insurance
List goes
companies.
on.
Yeah, the
Well,
list goes on.
some jobs you have to have good credit, right? Like I've had to fix people's credit so that way they can get, security clearance through the government and stuff like that. Like there are certain jobs that you can't get approved with bad credit, So yeah, like I said, the list goes on, man, for sure.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I think not enough people pay attention to it, and I think a lot of people get depressed and get overwhelmed. And I tell you, there is hope. There is a way if you're willing to be, take some effort. And yeah, you may need a little bit of resources over time to pay off some of your debts and things, but being coached on exactly what you need to do to make massive impacts in your credit score so you can purchase that home in Northeastern Wisconsin that you've been wanting, and the feeling of satisfaction. I remember being at the closing table, taking somebody from like low 500s and got them to the point where they were qualified to purchase a home. Like that is a special, special day. I feel like a lot of these people feel like there's no hope, or they have been kicked out of banks, and they actually sometimes make them feel kind of bad. And that's not okay. That's
Right.
why we have a tight relationship with you and work with lenders who coach people on actually what they need to do to improve their credit score. So anything else you want to add, Chris?
Absolutely. No, you hit the nail on the head there, Greg. Like you said, like there's just so many different things that people don't think about having good credit. And as long as, you are ready to kind of, meet me a little bit of the way, my credit coaches are great at what they do. They are going to make sure that you are a credit expert by the time you exit the program, and you'll never need another credit repair program in the future because you know exactly how to respond to situations when bad things happen to your credit. So, yeah, no, thanks so much for having me on this, Greg. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I'll have Chris's information from my credit guy below. Feel free to reach out for him. I'll tell you what, watching your score go from in the 500s to 700s, it's a pretty cool feat. And I've watched it happen before. So thanks again.
Thanks, buddy.